24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These council workers are tasked with cleaning up the toll from South Australia's unprecedented algal bloom.
This is obviously something that no one's ever dealt with before.
Adelaide's Charles Sturt Council estimates it's collected 2 tonnes of dead fish and other marine animals since late June.
We do rotate the team through, so it's not the same team members every day, because it would be a bit grim having to spend 7 days a week picking up dead marine life.
Some areas off Adelaide's coast once abundant with fish. Now appeared lifeless.
This bloom has been, compared to as like a underwater bushfire, but it was just apocalyptic down here.
The harmful algal bloom was first reported in March. While there are no official figures, citizen scientists have reported more than 31,000 marine mortalities since then.
This particular microalgae Karenia impacts fish in 2 ways. First of all, it damages or clogs up the gills to prevent them from breathing appropriately. And also when the Karenia bloom declines and decomposes, it draws all the oxygen out of the water.
South Australian authorities believe the bloom has been fuelled by warmer ocean temperatures and nutrient-rich conditions. The geography of the coastline is prolonging the problem.
One of the challenges that we have is both of our gulfs are relatively shallow and enclosed, which means that they provide a good environment for the algae to persist. We're seeing in Gulf St Vincent that pattern of currents moving around in that clockwise direction. So it looks like the algae are catching a conveyor belt ride around the coast.
I don't know what my future is. I don't know if this is the end of my fishing career or if it's just a speed bump. I don't know.
Normally a pod of dolphins would bring a smile to Bart Butson, but the commercial fisherman says in this case, both he and the marine mammals are struggling to land a catch.
So the fishing has really declined. We're still trying to ascertain exactly at what levels, but usually for Gulf St Vincent, we probably should have caught maybe 15 tonnes of calamari for this time of the year, collectively as a fleet, and at the moment we've only caught 24 kilos.
Bart fishes for whiting, garfish and squid in Gulf St Vincent, one of the areas hardest hit by the bloom. After 3 hours of toil, he fills 2 containers, a fraction of his normal catch.
Even though this looks like a reasonable amount of fish, it's a nice feed and it will end up in some restaurant somewhere and people will enjoy it, but it's not commercially viable.
I think it is a question that South Australians want to know.
The state and federal governments have been criticised for a slow response to the algal bloom.
Just wondering why it took until the 20th of July for a formal request for money.
A Senate inquiry is examining the rollout of financial support in July, months after the natural disaster started.
So throughout March, April and May, all of the forecasts that we were getting from our marine scientists was that the algal bloom would dissipate during the course of winter months, and it certainly became clear in July that those forecasts weren't going to come to fruition, and that invited a different policy response.
Did you underestimate the severity of the algal bloom?
I think everybody did. Our political leaders are not normally marine scientists, so it's my responsibility to take the advice that we receive from our experts.
$28 million in state and federal assistance is now on offer. Bart needs to prove he's suffered a 30% decline in catch over 3 months to receive an initial grant of $25,000.
So how do you go between now and seeing that money flow?
Nervously. We just try to manage as carefully as we can. We have some savings, but that's a bit daunting using your savings just to survive.
Governments tend to be a bit slow to the parties until it's time to ask for money from us. Then they're very quick at it.
Damien Thomas manages this caravan park at Edithburgh on Gulf St Vincent. Many come to the town to fish, and he's feeling the pinch from a tourism downturn.
Normally October long weekend is chock-a-block full, and we would normally be pretty close to full by now. So I think a lot of people must be holding back to see what's happening. I don't know if we might be not quite 50% booked yet.
All of the public health advice that we have received consistently says that beaches won't need to close. The algal bloom can represent an irritant or have an effect for an asthmatic under certain circumstances, but for the vast majority of people, they will be able to enjoy the beach unaffected.
The Premier is worried about the impact the bloom could have on the state's $478 million seafood industry.
You've served me before. Have I? Yes, absolutely have, yeah.
Our fisheries are highly regulated and well managed, and we want to make sure people know that seafood consumption is perfectly safe.
But despite the pledge of continued government support, those who rely on the ocean for their livelihoods fear the bloom could get worse over the coming summer.
It's our peak season, so that's how our businesses survive. They make hay while the sun shines, and they use that income to keep them going for the rest of the year.